So, former President Barack Obama, Barack Obasted, calls himself scolding so-called black men because it's obvious that there's no support for Kamala Harris. I have a problem with this all the way around. Now, I was watching the clip. I was taking a few days to let it just sink in and see what other people had to say, even though I didn't really listen because I knew what I was going to say. I mean, because I want to give my own perspective. But just look at how this man is walking into the room. Now, is that the Barack Obama we know from 2008, 2012, walking around all the other constituents who vote? Where's the smile, motherfucker? And who do you think you are? Before we even get into it, I would just like to say before he says anything, shut the fuck up, Obama. You had 8 years to do what you was gonna do. Fuck these words. Okay? Tired of these conversations. But let's just hear some of what he has to say. Look, where's the smile? Motherfucker walking in with a frown on his face. Are we supposed to give a fuck? Look at your face. This how we look every time we go to the grocery store. Motherfucker, when we look at the price of bacon, eggs, motherfucker, produce. This how we look every time we go to the motherfucking gas pump. And we look at the, wait a minute, 10 gallons for $50? What the fuck? I got a problem with this man. I really do. Because he's a bullshitter.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and community.
Oh, and shout out to the Economic Times. They did an excellent report. I want to give them credit. Y'all make sure you go to their channel and subscribe. Subscribe to it.
Is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
Do you know why? Because we already fell for the banana in the tailpipe, motherfucker. That's why. After 8 years of you, motherfucker, people y'all Democrats don't know what a woman is no more. You call her chest feeder. You say anybody that says that they a woman is a woman. What is a woman? Y'all don't know now. I know. It's an adult female human being. That's a woman. That's a womb man. See, it's all in the name. But y'all created all this fuzzy, I'm a purple penguin, I'm a they, even though I'm a singular person. You have caused all the insanity. But just because you got melanin in your skin, that doesn't mean that you're good for all peoples of the nation, especially people with melanin, motherfucker. That's why. We saw you didn't do shit. Kamala's not doing shit right now. And that's the reason why. Yeah. Once again, let's look at that face.
We saw when I was running.
That's exactly how we look every time we at the gas station, motherfucker. That look right there. That look right there. When motherfuckers don't know what a woman is. That's that look.
Now, I also want to say that...
Listen to the solemn tone and shit. Like, motherfucker, your daughters are grown, and they don't want to hear this bullshit no more.
That seems to be more
talking to us like we his goddamn children or something. Kiss my ass, Obama.
With the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
What you got to say?
And say that
What?
You have a choice that is this clear.
That's right. Between bullshit and clarity. See, I know it seems like I keep stopping, but please bear with me. We've seen President Trump be in office. So how you gonna go, oh, what he gonna do? We know what he did. And Kamala Harris is gonna do. We know what she doing. What the fuck?
When on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you.
She did not grow up like us, motherfucker. Her mama is Indian. And every family pretty much follows the culture of the mama. See, now don't nobody want to talk about the racism over there in India either. It's a caste system over there. Brahmins, the darker you are, you called the untouchables. They'd be called untouchables in India. Kamala Harris grew up with a red dot and a sarong on all the goddamn time. What you talking about, Obama? But see, that's what they call misinformation. I finally figured out what that means. That means miss me with the information that's accurate. That's what that misinformation means.
Went to college with you.
And
understands the struggles and pain and...
No, she doesn't, motherfucker. You don't even know the struggles and the pain, Barry Soetoro. Motherfucker.
joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more.
Sexually.
And overcome
A whole lot of dick.
and achieves the second highest office in the land.
And she ain't done
And is
shit.
putting forward concrete proposals.
What are they? Like no tip on tax? Well, Trump came up with that. I'd rather just go with the originator of the thought. Tired of these
to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhood.
counterfeit. That was what I was looking for. I'm tired of all these counterfeit proposals and ideas and shit. Counterfeit shit.
Neighborhoods in our communities.
I'm sorry, let's take it back.
Concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities. From how
When she said, I'm not going to do nothing just for black people. No, she said it with attitude, with a little roll of her neck. See, but he talking to us like we don't know, motherfucker.
housing, to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine.
And Trump did that while in office too.
And making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that.
Well, if they're dealing with prices that's too high, how come Kamala Harris didn't talk about the airline companies that was charging all of the Floridians that was trying to evacuate Florida? How come they didn't want to talk about price gouging then? Charging people exorbitant amounts knowing that they fleeing for their life, but that's the time to stick it to them and shit.
That are too high and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got help and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods.
She don't give a fuck. Biden don't give a fuck about entrepreneurship. They shut it down. In recent history, during the goddamn pandemic, they shut it down, but they let all the big companies operate. Motherfucking Costco, Amazon, everything big could do. They were, intrinsic to the motherfucking,
And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person.
No, he hasn't. You did that. Y'all doing that.
About sitting out?
Yeah. Yeah. That's right, motherfucker.
But, you know, Cousin Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses.
No. Reasons. She has no policies. And she said that her values haven't changed. And she said that you might do a bunch of other things, but as long as your values don't change, she likes what's happening.
I've got a problem with that. Because
I got a problem with you. Motherfucker, I got a problem with you and all y'all pushing this bullshit and lying on Trump.
Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Now, why would you say that? So-called black women been running the house since the plantation, which I like to call the POW camps, known as plantations. And let's just look at the community now. They've done a shitty job. So no, we don't want the goddamn country to look like our so-called community, motherfucker.
And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
No, we're coming up with the reasons. Reasons. The reasons that we're here. Motherfucker, reasons.
And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude,
you should shame them, insult them, guilt them, and you need to be right. Sign language. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, because that's really what's going on. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. No, we think critically. We think beyond our genitalia. We don't care about that. We want a competent woman who is in the driver's seat, motherfucker.
I think you have to ask them
if it's going to be a woman. See, we really don't care. We want the most competent person to drive.
Well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
Beating our backs. Motherfucker, have you been around the last 30 years? What about child support? The way they torture a nigga's soul. What about killing the baby even if you want the baby? How about if you don't want the baby, they want to put you on child support and that shit tortures a man's soul? No, we've watched all this bullshit. And this is the women in our goddamn communities and lives. Our mamas, our sisters, our aunts. They did this bullshit. We watching them do it. Our cousins. We watching them.
They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And
they have not been having our backs, motherfucker.
When we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
After a nigga's dead. While we living, where is the marching? How come they always got a problem when something benefits men then? This is some bullshit and rhetoric right here.
And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody?
Who has policies? Yes. Yes. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. No tax on Social Security. Yeah.